At a major tech show earlier this year, a small company unveiled something that sounds almost too good to be true. A real, flyable personal aircraft, priced under $40,000, that legally requires no pilot license at all. For comparison, the closest well-known competitor costs well over $100,000. So is this actually a legitimate flying car you could realistically own? Or is it another flashy concept that quietly disappears after the cameras leave? I looked into exactly how this pricing and this licensing claim are even possible. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what this aircraft actually is, how it legally gets away with requiring no pilot license, why it's so much cheaper than its closest competitor, and what real trade-offs come with that low price. We'll also look honestly at the eVTOL industry's track record of flashy reveals that never actually ship, and try to figure out where this specific aircraft realistically stands right now. This channel covers the future of flying cars and mobility every week, so subscribe if that's your thing. Let's get into it. So what are we actually talking about? It's a small, single-seat personal aircraft with 4 foldable propeller arms, designed to lift straight up and fly at a modest top speed of around 50 miles per hour. It's genuinely closer to an oversized, enclosed drone built to carry one person than it is to a sleek sci-fi flying car. And that's not an insult, it's actually the entire point of its design philosophy. The foldable arms mean it can reportedly collapse down small enough to tow behind a vehicle or store in a garage, similar to how you might store a small boat or a jet ski, rather than needing a hangar built specifically for it. Here's the actual legal mechanism behind the no license claim, and it's genuinely clever regulatory positioning rather than some kind of loophole trick. Federal aviation rules already include a long-standing category called ultralight aircraft, which covers single-seat vehicles under a specific empty weight limit, roughly 350 pounds, that fly at limited speeds and altitudes. Vehicles in this category have never required a traditional pilot's license, long before eVTOLs existed, covering things like powered paragliders and simple single-seat ultralight planes for decades. This company appears to have deliberately engineered its aircraft to fit within that existing, decades-old weight category, rather than inventing any new legal framework specifically for itself. It's a smart design constraint, but it also explains directly why the aircraft is limited to one seat and a fairly modest top speed. Going bigger or faster would push it out of this lightly regulated category entirely. So why can this be priced at roughly $40,000, while a well-known competitor built around similar ultralight rules costs over 3 times as much? Part of it comes down to simpler materials and a less complex flight control system, since staying within that lighter weight limit rewards simplicity over the more advanced redundant systems found in pricier competitors. Part of it is likely aggressive early pricing to generate buzz and pre-orders, a common strategy for new companies trying to establish themselves in a crowded, hype-heavy market. And part of it may simply be a genuinely different target customer, prioritizing an accessible price point over the premium materials, finish, and flight range that competitors are charging extra for. Cheaper doesn't automatically mean worse here, but it almost certainly means fewer features, less range, and probably a less refined overall flying experience. This is honestly the most important question, because the eVTOL industry has a well-documented history of impressive stage, reveals that quietly stall out for years afterward, or never ship a single customer unit at all. So where does this specific aircraft actually stand? As of its public unveiling, it had been shown flying in test conditions and was open for reservations, which is a genuinely positive sign compared to a company only showing a non-flying physical mock-up. But a flying prototype and reservations are still meaningfully different from full regulatory sign-off, an established production line, and actual units reaching real customers' driveways. Plenty of ultralight aircraft companies over the years have successfully reached small-scale production, so it's absolutely not impossible. But the honest answer right now is that this remains a genuinely promising early-stage product, not yet a proven, widely delivered one. Even if everything goes perfectly, there are real limitations that don't make it into the exciting headlines. Ultralight category rules generally restrict flying over densely populated areas and congested traffic, which rules out exactly the kind of urban commuting most people picture when they hear the phrase flying car. Weather sensitivity is a real factor too, since a lightweight single-seat aircraft like this is far more affected by wind and rain than a heavier, more established design. And while no formal pilot's license is legally required, genuinely flying any aircraft safely still demands real training and practice, which most sensible manufacturers strongly recommend even when the law technically doesn't require it. Insurance for a genuinely new aircraft category like this is also still a developing, uncertain landscape, which could add real ongoing costs that isn't reflected in that initial $40,000 price tag. So who's actually the realistic customer here? This is genuinely not a commuting solution like the flying taxi services we've covered in cities like Dubai. It's much closer to a recreational toy for rural property owners, aviation enthusiasts, and people who already enjoy activities like off-roading or personal watercraft and have the open space to use it safely. Think less city professional replacing their daily commute, and more hobbyist with a large property replacing a dirt bike or a boat with something genuinely novel. That's a real, existing market, even if it's a much smaller and different one than the sweeping flying car for everyone vision that gets shown in flashy promotional videos. Understanding that target audience honestly is actually key to judging whether this product makes sense, rather than judging it against a commuting fantasy it was never actually built for. So, stepping back, is this genuinely a meaningful step toward accessible personal flight, or just another eVTOL headline that fades away? Honestly, it's a legitimately clever and encouraging use of existing ultralight rules to make personal flight more financially accessible than it's ever been, and that deserves real credit. At the same time, it's not the sweeping flying car for everyone future that headlines like to imply, and it comes with real trade-offs in range, speed, weather tolerance, and where you're actually allowed to fly it. The most accurate way to think about this is as a genuinely promising evolution of a decades-old ultralight aircraft category, not a revolutionary new form of daily transportation. Whether it actually reaches customers' garages in meaningful numbers is still an open question worth watching closely, rather than assuming either way. So, would you actually buy a $40,000 personal flying aircraft if you had the space for it? Or does this still feel too early to trust? Let me know your honest take in the comments below. If you found this breakdown interesting, subscribe, because we're going to keep tracking whether this thing actually reaches real customers. See you in the next one.